What's going on, everyone? Togevoir here, and today we are here for the start of Season 3 of the NPL. We are facing off against my good friend RazorWolf24 and the New York Metangs. Now, last season we handed them a handy 3-0 defeat, and we hope to do the same this season. Now, looking for this season, how you kind of can expect these pre-game kind of analysis and stuff to go, I decided to change it up this season, and I realized that of all the people I've watched on YouTube do league format type of things, the person whose preseason stuff I enjoyed the most was Tom Z, and he did this sort of thing where he talked about his opponent's threats and kind of ranked them on the screen, and I'm going to be doing a similar thing here and now. Then we'll be moving over to Showdown. I'll be showing you my team that I'm going to be bringing, and then we'll be hopping over to the actual game itself, which is on Wi-Fi this week, and that's something else you can expect this week from the NPL. Is a little over half of my battles are on Wi-Fi, I do believe. I actually think I have 5 battles on Wi-Fi, maybe 6 out of the 10 weeks this season. We decided to shorten the season this season because in 14 weeks last season, it was really long, and people just kind of got burnt out, including myself for a short time last season. But regardless, anyway, I'm super hyped to be kicking this off. I hope you guys are too. Obviously, I'm recording this before the actual match takes place, so I'm not quite as hyped as hopefully you are, and as hyped as I will be in the narration eventually when that does come out. But looking straight off his teams, I'm just going to go straight into his team, and his tier, we'll list his whole team, and then go through his threats. So his team is Excadrill, Santa Christ, aka Tangrowth, Raikou, Suicune, the Double Dog Core, Conkeldurr, Gyarados, Meloetta, Crocodile, Roserade, Dunsparce, and Mega Altaria. Now, he does have a very threatening team, however, I do think that I have a pretty good matchup this week, and I hope to exploit that and show you kind of my thoughts throughout the team building process. But, anyway, so I believe his Tier 1 threats to be Excadrill, Conkeldurr, and Meloetta. Now, the thing with Excadrill is that I have one really solid switch in Hippowdon, but if you were to bring something like Toxic Excadrill, that would be a big problem, and once my Hippowdon is worn down, Excadrill kind of just wins, especially a Scarf one is especially scary towards my team. So I have to make sure to preserve my Excadrill and also kind of my Amoonguss, as that can take it on like decently well. And my Infernape can outspeed as long as it's not Scarfed, but it could really be a serious problem for my team if I let my Hippowdon get weakened. So I have one really solid counter, but if that falls, I'm screwed. But the other Tier 1 threat is Conkeldurr, because again, I have the stop to it in Hippowdon, and I have another stop to it in Sylveon if he does not bring Poison Jab, though I predict he will bring Poison Jab if he does bring the Conkeldurr. So that's why that's scary. As it can't 2-hit KO Hippowdon, I don't even think it comes close if it's Assault Vest. I mean, a Life Orb Sheer Force set would be terrifying. Or even just a Sheer Force set that's not Guts. But I still do have my Hippowdon and Latios to kind of check it, and unlike Excadrill, a Scarfed, you can't run a Scarfed Conkeldurr, so it's kind of less threatening. Then the other Pokemon that is also very scary towards my team is Meloetta, and that's because if he brings a Specs Meloetta, I don't really have a Hyper Voice switch in. If there's not Roxa, Sylveon can switch into Specs Hyper Voice. But if there is, I'm screwed. And I'm running Physically Defensive Sylveon this week, however, if I bring a more specially defensive set to bring that on, Psyshock then 2-hit KOs easily, so it's going to be really interesting to have to play around that, and that's going to be definitely a definite challenge for my team. However, I also do have things to outspeed and revenge kill easily, like my Mega Pinsir, so we have that going for us. Now, next, looking at his Tier 2 threats, we have Raikou, Suicune, Roserade, and Mega Altaria. Mega Altaria actually is not a big threat to my team, even though it may be threatening to lots of things, especially the way I've decided to build around it. I have Hippowdon, which I'm bringing Whirlwind on, which can do well versus it and Whirlwind it out if it wants to set up, as well as take Hyper Voice okay if he wants to be special. The special set is handled very well by Sylveon, A physical set is easily taken on by my Amoonguss or even an Arcanine if I decide to bring that. And a special set's easily revenge killed by Mega Pinsir. I also have Crobat to help deal with it, and Magneton if I decide to bring the Scarf version of that. So I have a lot of different ways to deal with it, so I'm not too worried about it, but depending on the set, if you brought something like Mixed DD, that could be terrifying for my team. I just have to make sure to keep things healthy and scout out which set it is to then play around it correctly. Next is Roserade is also a tier 2 threat, because something like an offensive spike stacking Roserade with like Sleep Powder and Hidden Power Fire Life Orb for my Amoonguss could be pretty terrifying. But then again, like, I just have so much that can take it out, like Pinsir, Ape. He can't switch in on a Powder and Earthquake because it's pretty strong. So I don't think it's the biggest problem. The other threats, Gyarados is a tier 2 threat, however, I do have a special Amoonguss set tailored to deal with that, so we should be good there. Suicune, the same thing, Amoonguss handles it very well. And Raikou, I have a mixed defensive Powder to take it on, as well as something special in my Crobat that you guys will see in a little bit. Now, looking at his tier 3 threats, that I don't think he'll bring these Pokemon, as they match up very poorly against my team. Amoonguss, like whatever set it runs, is completely walled by Slowking. Unless he wanted to bring something like a Swords Dance Natural Gift Flying set, but even then it's Revenge Killed by Pinsir, so like, it's not gonna speak. His other tier 3 threat is Crocodile, because it's walled by Hippo, it's walled by Sylveon, and Sylveon kills it. It's walled by Amoonguss, and Amoonguss kills it. Mega Pinsir kills it, and Fernin kills it. So, like, if he does decide to bring it, great. My team gets to take advantage of it, and it's not a threat to me. And finally, he has Dunsparce, and it's a Dunsparce, so we don't need to talk about that. But, as you can see, he does have some threatening mons to my team. However, I do think I'll be able to handle them, and right now we're going to go hop over to Showdown to show you exactly what I built for this week, and then hop into the battle. So I'll see you guys in just a second. So, anyways, this is going to be my team for this week. As you can see up across the top bar, we have Mega Pinsir, Crobat, Hippowdon, Sylveon, Infernape, and Amoonguss. So starting off with my Mega Pinsir, we are just running we're running Frustration, Quick Attack, Substitute, and Close Combat. Now, the reason for these coverage moves is Frustration hits a majority of his team. His only 2 resists being Raikou and Excadrill. And the reason I'm running Close Combat and not Earthquake to hit both of those is I'm not going to outspeed Raikou anyway, and it doesn't want to switch in and take a return anyway, or Frustration. And I'm just going to be spamming Frustrations. And Close Combat, so I guess maybe Earthquake would make more sense. However, I'm thinking in his mind, he's going to think Earthquake also makes more sense. And so, we could be seeing maybe an Air Balloon or a Shuca Berry, Raikou, or Excadrill, which Close Combat would be much more effective in those 2 situations. And so that's the reason I'm running Close Combat. We're just running Adamant, Max Speed, because that's the speed required to outspeed Meloetta, I do believe. We can double check this right here. But Meloetta, we want to Scarf, Timid Max Speed at level 50. It hits 156. We hit 157. So the only Pokemon that can outspeed this besides his Raikou is his Crocodile, and I really don't think he will bring that. And if he does, it'll probably be Scarf, so I wouldn't want to stay in anyway. Now next, this is my gimmick of the week. And this is Crobat, which is not nicknamed, and I don't think it's nicknamed on Wi-Fi either. It should be Alaba. Shut up, Shoddy. But anyway, this is kind of bulkier Crobat. The EV spread is for something to live some hits. Actually, no. I know what the EV spread is for. So I'll tell you in a second. I have this ability has to be inner focus because of the move on I have. But I'm just running Brave Bird, Roost Fog, standard things, and then you see Natural Gift. Now, Natural Gift is a move for those of you who don't know. Its power and type depends on the user's berry. So when you're using an Apricot berry, it gives you a ground type Natural Gift. So my idea here is that I definitely think he will bring Raikou, as it's really his only way to deal with Mega Pinsir, like Revenge Kill it, otherwise it just clean sweeps him. And I'm running Substitute over Swords Dance and Mega Pinsir because I don't need a Swords Dance really. If I can get a sub up and like I can 2-hit KO his entire team, And after a couple Stealth Rock switches, I can OHKO most of his members. But this is so I can lure it in, and I can lure in his Raikou with a Brave Bird. And after a Brave Bird and Stealth Rock damage, I'm running the perfect speed investment to outspeed Raikou, and Natural Gift will knock it out. So that's what we're going for here. Next we have, and also it's another check to Mega Altaria, and his entire team just doesn't really want to take flying attacks, and the same checks are the checks for Mega Pinsir, so we can try to weaken those, which will allow Mega Pinsir the chance to clean up. Next we have our mono that battled on with Stealth Rocks, Earthquake, Whirlwind, and Slack Off. Slack Off for obvious longevity. Earthquake because Stab, and Whirlwind to get things out of there, like his Mega Altaria if that wants to set up, or maybe even a Gyarados. I can take one hit from it at +1. I mean, if I don't get flinched, that is. What are other things? I had Whirlwind to Calm Minding Suicune, even though that isn't my plan versus Suicune, but if it did come down to that, it's just going to be general, very good for our team. Now next we have my Sylveon, which is Leftovers, Wish, Baton Pass, Hyper Voice, and Toxic. Also, this is my answer to that stupid Driller. So, right here, this Sylveon is going to be able to spread wishes around to my defensive walls, or maybe even an offensive one, as I am only really running 2 fully offensive Pokemon and 1 kind of just annoying Mon. But Wish, Baton Pass, Hyper Voice, and Toxic. Now, I hope that's, yeah, I fixed it on Wi-Fi. But anyway, I'm running a negative speed nature, and Wish, Baton Pass, Hyper Voice, and Toxic to outslow his entire team, basically. So that way I can get a Wish up and then Baton Pass it into something else, or just get a slow Baton Pass into something like Mega Pinsir, so it can go and just threaten the rest of his team, and this will be able to get us momentum back in the battle if we ever do lose it. This also takes on a special variant of Altaria. It takes on his Meloetta decently well, and same thing with like a Crocodile, and Hyper Voice even uninvested can hit his team very hard. Toxic to spread status around, though actually I don't want to do that because of the calcs on Meloetta. Toxic not going to be really helpful. I'd rather just have it deck, because I'm not really going to have trouble breaking down his walls. I don't. And then next we have our Focus Sash Infernape. This is kind of our safety button for the battle in case something does happen, let's say the Altaria or the Excadrill. We have a Focus Sash Infernape with Close Combat, Thunder Punch, Gunk Shot, and U-Turn. Now, I'm actually, let me double check right here. Thunder Punch does hit Gyarados. Yes, this is what we're going to run. The same shoot, I messed up the speed on this. I might have to try to fix that in game. I don't know if I can, but I do want to be able to hit 157 speed because of Crocodile and things, or of Meloetta and things, but I don't think you'll be running Timid max speed anyway, so hopefully this doesn't matter. Some small EV mishaps on my part, but the worst will speed tie, and that would suck if that ends up being game changing. We're Focus Sash, so we can take out pretty much anything on this team if something bad does happen. But the Thunder Punch for things like Suicune and Gyarados, and we have the Close Combat to generally hit his team hard and hit things like Excadrill, Gunk Shot for the Mega Altaria, and also can hit the Tangrowth, and U-Turn to try to get us some momentum. Last but not least, we have Amoonguss, Gus the Amoonguss, the Assault Vest Amoonguss, which this spread allows it to never be 2-hit KO'd by, I think, Fire Blast or Mega Altaria. And we're running Clear Smog, Giga Drain, Hidden Power Electric, and Sludge Bomb HP Electric, so the Gyarados cannot set up on this, which then means the Gyarados can't set up on anything on my team. That's going to be really beneficial for us, and Clear Smog to stop like a Suicune sweep, or a Gyarados sweep that is, or Mega Altaria sweep, so, and this also just walls a large portion of his team, like things such as Tangrowth. And I'm actually gonna, yeah, I can't change the EVs on this because my Mons are gent, but that's okay. I'm pretty happy with this, it's been able to do a lot of work on this team. So that's, our team for week 1 of the NPL. I hope I didn't bore you guys to death with this semi-long intro, but I'll be seeing you guys in a little bit with the battle. What's going on, guys? We're back here with the battle. It's been a couple days since I recorded the team analysis, and just a second, there's a bug on my screen. I'm not editing that out. Anyway, so here again we have the battle against my good friend Razor. I'll get more into the matchup analysis in just 1 second. However, make sure, if I haven't said it before, to go check out his channel below. He is a great content creator, and he also makes some great art, so make sure you go check that out. Anyways, so this battle, looking straight into the team preview, you guys just saw the team that I am bringing. So the team he decided to bring was Excadrill, Tangrowth, Meloetta, Mega Altaria, Crocodile, and Gyarados. So, straight off, like I said before, I'm not at all scared of Tangrowth or Crocodile, and the Mega Altaria and Gyarados are moderate threats. The same, Excadrill is kind of a problem, but not really the biggest thing. Meloetta is definitely looking like a very scary thing for my team. So, yeah. I think I can definitely handle it, though. I wasn't too scared going into the battle. So we're just gonna hop right into it, and I may pause it a couple times. People usually pause Wi-Fi battles, but I think it's important sometimes, just like you would during a showdown replay. But, so here we go. I decided to lead straight off with my Sylveon, as it does have the baton pass for momentum, and he leads straight off with Gyarados. Now right away, I make a play that I end up regretting later on, and I go straight for baton pass here. As he withdraws, you might think this worked out well for me, but it just makes me make a series of plays that I do regret. So I do go for the baton pass, and right here, what I wish I would have done is gone straight into my Infernape, and just click U-turn, and gone back into Sylveon. However, I decided to go to my Mega Pinsir, and this is risky for a few reasons. Number one, he could be Scarf and do a lot of damage to me. But even if he did, I was thinking I can go for a turn, put it in range of Quick Attack, that's fine. Unless he's even if he's Choice Specs, he has actually if he's Choice Specs I do think he kills me, but I didn't think he would be. I knock him down really low, and I was like, alright, that's great, I can take him out with a Quick Attack, but he reveals the HP Rock and knocks me out, and that is the biggest threat to his team gone from mine, and that's looking really unfortunate. But here, right here, I just go straight on my Infernape and click U-turn, either claiming a kill or momentum, and playing Infernape like it is Scarf, which turns out to be very important later in the game. Thankfully, that bug was gone again. But, so I do this, and I just go straight out into an Amoonguss, as it has a great matchup versus most of the rest of the Mons on his team. And right here he goes into his Gyarados, and I'm thinking that's great. So he goes for DD, I'm feeling fine. Now, he probably predicted the Spore here. I found out after the battle he had a Lumberry. But right here, I fire off an Hidden Power Electric, and it does like 70%. So I'm feeling good. But right here, I should have gone straight to my Sylveon, because Sylveon is too big KO by Waterfall if he goes for it, but he's not going to go for Waterfall. His only two options were Ice Fang and Bounce. And this is going to create a huge problem. And right here, I misplay again by going into my Sylveon. I should have gone into anything else. Really, but Sylveon's the only thing on my team that can take a +1 hit from this thing easily. Hippowdon can also, but he didn't have Intimidate, so that means he's Moxie, and I didn't think about that in the battle, because I'm like, oh well, I can go to Hippowdon and knock it out. But then he knocks me out with the Waterfall here, and I just totally misplayed around this, and, it's frustrating. He gets his Moxie, and then I'm like, well, I have my Sashed Infernape, right? So I go into it, but then I check the item just to make sure, and I'm Expert Belt. But thankfully, he thinks I'm Scarf and switches out. And now, right here, I should have gone for the close combat. Because I should have known that, you know, if he stays in, I lose the game and get 5-0'd. So he had to switch or I lost. And I should have just gone for the close combat, because in case he did switch. But I don't. I go for the Thunder Punch. But it ends up, I'm not feeling, you know, bad about that play. As he does just go for the knockoff here on my Monomoto. Good prediction on his part, not just going for the save, or not going for the Earthquake. I guess he was thinking Crobat is a possibility, but right here he's going to switch straight out back into his Gyarados. And I know right here he's not going to Dragon Hits up because I could have the Stone Edge or the Whirlwind, but I know he's just going to fire off a Waterfall, but I don't have anything to take that hit now that my Sylveon has gone down. So I'm going to stay in with my Hippowdon, take the hit, and just Whirlwind him straight out. Now as you can see, this is a problem because this is my only counter to this thing, and it gets Whirlwinded straight into it. And so I have really nothing for this. He's going to go straight for the Iron Head, take me out. He reveals that he is indeed Life Orb, and I'm going to go straight into my Tradashian, the Infernape, and just fire off a close combat. Now he makes a switch into Crocodile, which, with Intimidate, and he is revealed later to be a very bulky Crocodile, also holding a Choice Scarf, which is a very cool set on his part. It allows him to take on my Infernape, it also allows him to take on my Mega Pinsir. But I'm going to switch out, fearing the Scarf, even though he did take that, just because Infernape's basically my win condition at this point. So I go straight out into my Crobat, and right here he doesn't just sack it. He goes into his Tangrowth. Now, I don't really agree with this play. I don't think it was his best play. I think his best play was letting that go down, or maybe going to Excadrill if he didn't know my set. But he does go into this, but this play, even though it's not the quote-unquote correct play, it's not really going to matter, as you'll see coming into the late game. But he just switches in here, making his next best play, which is just sacking Crooked out to the rocks. Even though it doesn't give him the Intimidate, maybe that's what he was going for, but he doesn't get it. And so right now, I really thought he would go into Excadrill as its only way to deal with this, and that's exactly what he does. And now, I get to reveal here my trick up my sleeve, my natural gift with the Apricot Berry, which lets me hit with the ground type, and it's going to do a hell of a lot of damage, putting him in Life Orb KO range. He is going to be able to take me straight out with the Rock Slide, but he's going to go down. Good job, Crobat. Now, it is kind of unfortunate to lose Crobat right here, as it did do a lot of work against his team, so maybe going for the natural gift there wasn't the best play, but I did decide to go for it. So right here, I go into my Infernape. I believe at this point he has Gyarados left, but it's at like a sliver of HP, this Mega Altaria, and his Tangrowth. So right here, I have a chance to kill. I am Adamant Expert Belt Max Attack Infernape with the Gunk Shot. So right here, I just fire it off. Thankfully, I do land it. And this was me praying, and it does take it out. However, he was revealed to be a special variant, and he actually could not have O-code me because I was an all-physically attacking Infernape, so there's no way he could have knocked me straight out. But anyway, right here he goes into his Tangrowth, and I could have gone for the Gunk Shot here, but if I missed, I actually could have lost. Not really, because I don't think Earthquake actually KO'd me, and that's what he ends up going for here. But he could have hit me with a Sleep Powder, and that would have ruined my day. He goes for the Earthquake, I switch into my Mungus, and this is why I'm saying that his misplay with the Tangrowth switching into my Crobat wasn't the biggest deal in the world, because he does go down to the Sludge Bomb here, and he would have been 2-hit KO'd before, and so wouldn't have really mattered. And right here he goes into his Gyarados. I have to just leave this in and let it die as he goes for the bounce. That is my only play, but I'm gonna leave this in. He's gonna get knocked out. He doesn't miss, and I'm gonna go straight out into my Infernape, reveal that I did indeed have the Thunder Punch. Well, actually, I do. I showed that earlier against Crocodile. But I'm gonna go into Infernape, go for Thunder Punch, and that's the ball game. The Portland Timbers open up Season 3 with a very narrow 1-0 victory over the New York Metangs. That was an amazing game, Razor. As you guys can see, this is why you should definitely be checking him out in the description below. He's a fantastic battler and had some fantastic sets there, and if you want to see more of that, go check him out. He should definitely be a playoff contender this season. Yeah, I was scared there. When I went in Infernape, I was prepared to take the 5-0 defeat, but we pulled through. Infernape, the MVP, with 3 kills, looking like a strong candidate for this season's most valuable Pokemon. But that's going to be pretty much it for this week's, thingy. I was going to say episode. This week of the NPL. This game was fun. I'm kind of stumbling all over myself, but I'm really happy to have a good start to this season, especially against such a competent opponent. I do apologize if the face cam quality was dark in this last segment and you couldn't really see me and if I was moving around a bit, but that's just because I'm excited. It'll be okay. You guys will all live. But anyways, that's going to wrap it up for this week. So stick around and show your support to Razor and the NPL channel. But anyways, I'm Togevoir, you're yourself. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.